Dun, da, da, da. What's up, folks? It's your boy MMG Smurf here today, and we're going to be talking about the Animal Farm and the updates to the Pig token V2. We're going to be going through FOREX's very words. FOREX is the developer of the Animal Farm and Drip network. We're going to be going through their last messages in Telegram to update the community about what's happening with the Pigs token and the options that they want to use going forward, what they're doing, and how long that might take before we see a difference in what we're currently seeing on the website. Because if you're currently visiting the website, so if you visited it in the last little bit, you might notice that let's see, this is logged in. All these farms are paused, and so we got $2 there, $7 there, so it's all paused. The emissions are paused, everything's paused on the website. The price isn't moving. You can't sell the tokens. And we knew it had this ability from the get-go, that they had that level of control with it. If you want to, this is something that you can see in Telegram if you actually scrolling enough. But also, this is kind of the case with all farms. If you visit BSC Scan, so if you visit BSC Scan and you actually utilize the contract. So if you actually utilize the contract of this thing, you go view contract, then you can actually go in here and you can remove your liquidity. So you have to go in here, you have to go into the contract, you have to go into a write contract, connect your wallet, and then you can go down here and you can actually remove your liquidity from a pool at any point in time. This is just like something that you can do with pretty much all farms unless they've somehow blocked it out. And so I went through that really quickly without really looking at the stuff, but that's how you do that. You can go in there, and so even though it says paused on the interface, the UI of the website, you can always go through and actually remove your liquidity in a different way. So there's that information. Now I want to take some time to go through what FOREX has actually said about this. And so for anybody that doesn't know, I'll just give you a quick debrief on the situation. What happened was the Piggy Bank launch, which is another application for this whole ecosystem with the Animal Farm and the Drip network. So the Piggy Bank is supposed to lock up Pig and BUSD LPs, so liquidity points or liquidity pair, whatever the heck, for up to 3 years if you wanted to do 3 years, or you don't have to lock them at all, etc. And so what happened was somebody used the bot, and FOREX is not a fan of bots. He always says don't use bots on my applications and stuff like that. I'll do something to combat those, and so they should have known. But somebody used the bot to get in there and snipe the price, snipe the timer for the contract, and they got a whole bunch of LPs for 1 or 2 cents, I believe is the numbers that they were saying. So this means that this person had hundreds of thousands of LPs, and they were able to, by themselves, dump the price of the token. And since FOREX does not like bots in general, and then this person is acting maliciously and just dumping the token price consistently, they decided to do something about it, and they paused all the contracts, and they're going to relaunch the Pigs token. And so we will see that relaunch of the Pigs token itself, and then that'll go into, our LPs in the Piggy Bank, and they're just going to redistribute everything. And so I don't know all the fine dine nitty details of it, but FOREX, who is somewhat of a DeFi numbers mathematical genius, I don't want to call him a genius, but like really smart guy, very smart guy. And so we're going to read through their exact words and how they're handling this from their Telegram messages. And so away with my face, let's have the FOREX message on screen. So FOREX says we need to mint ourselves enough pigs. Oops, here we go. We need to mint ourselves enough pigs to remove the liquidity from the current pigs liquidity pool. So mint ourselves enough pigs to remove the liquidity from the current pigs liquidity pool. Yeah, okay. There is no quick way of doing this, or there is no quick way of doing this. We did the math, and it will take 10 days with the current plan. So you can expect 10 days, almost the end of month, before we could see all this wrapped up. As soon as we do that, we will be good to go. So 10 days looks like how long it will take. And this is from today. The migration, I'm like losing my place. The migrating the pig pin vault is slightly different case, but it doesn't have to be done before we go live with everything else. It looks like we will go live with everything in 10 days, and the new pig pin vault will go live in about 1.5 months. Woo! Oh, that's a whole different system that we haven't even seen though. The Pigpen Vault. However, those who are in the current Pigpen will be rewarded with a higher Pigpen balance and also a fairly large immediate payout as soon as the new Pigpen goes live. So if you're just sitting in the Pigpen, you had your money tied up in the Pigpen, you're gonna have quite the reward coming back to you because that's just been sitting there, and I guess all that BUSD has been piling up or whatever. And I know something part of that probably has to do with the Pigpen is like a time lock to it, like time lock multiplier or something along those lines, I believe. Cool. While we are waiting for the new Pigpen and Piggy Bank and lottery should do perfectly, it will incentivizing people to stake their pigs. We are working on a lottery while we do everything else so that there will be ready around the same time we go live with V2. So still working on the lottery system. Woof, Smurf, you really jumbled through that one. All right, next portion of things. Start at the top. So somebody was asking a question about their LPs, yada, yada, yada. And this is a little bit later in the day from FOREX. And so let's see what they had to say. We haven't run the simulation yet, so I don't want to give values yet. And so they were asking, what about my LPs that I had from the Piggy Bank? I got in at a good time. Am I going to see a reduce number in the LPs that the piglets and the LP value, yada, yada, yada. So they said they want to give values yet. We are weighing out two options right now to determine which is best. One is faster but requires more action from the community, sending their pigs to a contract, and the other requires us to create a new farm in the animal farm. So the farms are, let me go over to the thing. What is the farms? Farms are these things. These are the farms, Okay. So they want to make a new farm in the animal farm that only we can access and mint ourselves enough pigs to remove the liquidity from V1 pigs to migrate it to V2 pigs. So they would make a new farm and use it with like all the liquidity or whatever that's been locked, and they would just mint out a whole bunch of these pigs to change things. The reason why we need to launch a V2 pigs is so we can leave out the botters who hold pigs LP tokens, not because there's no way for us to blacklist their LP tokens, and they could dump if we do not move to a V2 pigs. I feel like this not in there is kind of weird. Maybe that wasn't even supposed to be there. Who hold pigs LP tokens, not because there is no way for I'm like, but basically that's kind of the wrap up of things. They want to do one of these two options for the betterment of the community. One of them slightly faster and one of them slower. One of them has more to do with us actually moving our tokens around, and one of them does not require us to move our tokens around because they make the farm and do other things like that. There's no reason why we need to launch V2 so we can leave out the bottom. Okay, we did that. We would do a faster option if possible. We will know if it's possible within the next 24 hours or so, just so we need to go over all the scenarios before we decide. Okay, cool. So they're almost done deciding. That's what, and again, this whole thing is supposed to be a 10-day outlook before anything is actually changed, before you can expect those contracts to be unpaused. And so, if you're looking for other options and stuff like that, maybe this will be bullets for drip. I don't know. People going back to drip. I don't know. The garden's still working for the drip garden. Drip is still working. Other farms may or may not be coming out. I'm not trying to push bags over there, but just options within that 10-day period. We're on probably like day 8 or something like that, maybe at this point, or maybe there's 10 more days to go. Who knows? But just be expecting like a 2-week period or something like that before you can expect this whole ecosystem to be really moving again, and we'll find out where it goes from there. But that is this video for the most part. I want to end things with showing the animal farm again, and the parts of the animal farm that are still working, and also showing Money Match Gaming's investment in the animal farm and the overall drip ecosystem, because we are using drip and the animal farm and other farms. We wanted to start off with drip as our mainstay on Binance Smart Chain, and use our earnings from drip to invest in other farms and projects, other dApps, as you will, on the Binance Smart Chain and other blockchains. But using drip as our main long-term ability to earn something. We started off with just $5 a day a few months ago, and we knew if we compounded at least every other day, and we do it at a 5 days to 2 day claim. But we knew if we did at least every other day, we'd be able to earn $5 a day for the long term, and be able to eventually wrap that into our own smart contracts and stuff like that, use it to fund Money Match Gaming Esports, reward our players something, etc. And so far it's been working for us, and we expect it to continue working for us because we have a pretty heavy compounding schedule with that. So that said, let's go pop over here. This is the animal farm. As you can see, these are the pools that we're staked in. Put that back on. Now I gotta refresh it though. These are the pools we're staked in. They're all paused. At the beginning of this video, I showed you that you could get your tokens out if you visit the details, go to the actual contract, view contract, go to write contract, because you have to go to write contract, not read contract, to do some things with it, and then you have to enter some specific numbers. Now, do I know the specific numbers and this and that right off the top of my head? Nope. Go to YouTube and find somebody, or a nice blog post, find somebody who's actually given the detail on the decimal points and stuff like that you need to remove your tokens, because that's how you do that. But we still have some stuff chilling here. We have stuff chilling in the Pigpen, and the thing that's not working again out of this whole ecosystem, which has caused everything to be paused, is over here, the Piggy Bank. And so we have earned $45 worth in the Piggy Bank. We'll see if that resets or what happens with that. Still have my trust in Forex, so I'm not too worried about it. The other thing that's still working in this system, still works right now, is the drip garden. We don't have anything in the drip garden. But if we did, we'd still be able to utilize the drip garden. This is still working because this is not attached to pigs and dogs and whatever. And it's not even attached to this website necessarily. This is a dApp that runs, and they just put the interface on this website as well. But the drip garden does still work. Drip liberation, which is where you could take your drip tokens. If I wanted to, I could push, supply there. But this should load up. Should load up. Like, maybe they paused drip liberation too. I don't think they paused drip liberation though. Maybe they paused drip liberation. Okay, I was gonna say drip liberation was working, but I guess maybe they did. Maybe they paused drip liberation. But the last thing that I want to show, because my friend just used it like last night. Last thing I want to show is actually drip itself. And so the drip token is still hovering in that $60 range. Now, I had mentioned the $60 range a while ago. A few, what is it? Late February 20 something. 21st, 22nd in a YouTube video and then a Twitter post where I mentioned that drip could go down to the $80 something range, bottom out around the $60 or so range as the most bearish case scenario before making a rebound. And then I put a video in about drip finding its bottom. Is the drip bottom in when we hit around that $80 mark? And apparently it wasn't totally in. Apparently we needed to go down at least to this 80 or so or $60 or so mark. And so now we've been fluctuating around that. Sometimes it dips down into the $50 something range, but then it comes right back out. And that's because I think that really is truly around the bottom for drip and for this this cycle. And so we've really been fluctuating around there. And that's not to say that it couldn't do like a capitulation event where it drops even further below that. But if it does capitulate really down to the 30 or something like that range, people have made so much money off of drip and they see the value in it that I think they would buy all that back up really, really quickly and, sustain themselves for like another year or something like that within the drip ecosystem. So I don't think that would last very long. And so we're seeing around the $60 mark be around the bottom for drip, I think. It's not financial advice, not a financial advisor or anything like that, but that's where we are. Again, when we got into drip, it was about a $15 token. It's $63, so that's still up a lot, 4 or 5x. And you can see that initial $500, almost $600 investment. By the time we got into drip, is worth still over, it was $10,000 when drip was at its all-time high. But due to our compounding, we've only taken about a half a loss from that all-time high, which we didn't put $10,000 in. We only had $600 in total. And so we're still at $5,149 of an investment. That's making us over $51 a day in drip. And so today is another compound day. It's not Friday. It's not Monday. So we're going to push the hydrate button. Keep compounding, because we know if we keep compounding at this rate, by the time drip does get back up to $100, we'll be earning one drip a day. And that one drip a day will be over $100 a day. We'll be sustained that. And then I imagine drip will keep going up even higher, which might push us to about $200 a day, which means on our claim days, we're earning about $400 total dollars a week from drip. And, even just $100 a week, which we're currently getting, if we just do our claim days, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Who would expect that? And so we're happy with it either way. Compounded that back around. On Friday, we'll be claiming again, and that's our coverage of drip today. Hopefully you found this informational, educational, somewhat entertaining. Hopefully it's answered your questions about the Piggy Bank. Let me know what I can fix or whatnot, or if you found this useful. And that's it for me. See you guys in the next one. Smurf out.